Alright, guys. The other time when I told you, when I brought these functions for you, this code for you, that is what you need to create different sites. I omitted something, and that was intentional. I want you to think be outside the box. I don't just want to hand over the solutions and every other hints to you directly like that. And what is that thing that I omitted? If you come under looks, I didn't make mention of looks at that time. I omitted this hide, the hide function. And how does that function works? Just watch me as I create the first angle. All you need to do is just bring them like this. Start with the initiator, which is when flag is clicked. By the time you click on the flag, what do you want it to do? You want it to create these angles that you want. And how will you do that? Then come to hide, put hide here. And what we hide do? We hide this character. It is this character that will serve as our pen in drawing the shapes that we want to draw, whichever the shapes that we want to draw, either five-sided shapes, or four-sided shape, or eight or seven, even 10. And after that, you need to do what? You click on erase all. What are you erasing? You are erasing if there is anything here you want to erase it so that the shapes will be legible and boldly created and boldly written there also. And what is the next thing you need to do? You need to put your pen up. We set our pen to be up, not down. Don't want to start. We don't want you to start writing anything I want you to write. Then you bring set pen color. What is the pen color you want? You can basically change it to any color. I want it to be blue, so I'll set it to blue like that, as you can see. And what's the next thing? I'll set the pen size. I'll increase it from 1. Let me put it at 3, like that, so it will be legible and boldly and very clear that you can see it like that. And what's the next thing? Then you now bring your set pen down. That is, you want to start drawing your shape. You want to start writing or start creating your shapes like that. And after that, what is the next thing that you need? You need your repeat function. See, the repeat is going to serve as this number of sides that you want to create. This repeat 10 now, it means you want to create 10 sided shapes, but that's not what I want to start with. I'm starting with 3, so I'll change it to 3 like that. And 3 is what? Is a triangle. It's called a triangle. And after that, what do you need? You need your weight. Your weight, what? Weight function. Weight function is under control. As you can see it here, it's under control. So like that. I will change the speed, the seconds to what? 0.3 seconds. 0.3 is much more slower than 1 second. 1 second is faster than 0.3. So I'll now bring move again. Move 10 steps. After move 10 steps, but before I move 10 steps, let me remove it, and I want to duplicate the weight. I want to make it 2. So I bring move 10 steps, but I'm not going to use 10 steps. I'm going to increase it to 100. You see, the moves 10 steps is the move actually in this particular function. What was the essence of it being there? The essence is to what? Is to create a movement to help you to determine how long you are willing to go. It's going to determine how big the shape is going to look like, or how small it's going to look like. Then the turn is the one actually making those turn to create it, if it is a triangle or a rectangle or a pentagon or heptagon, all hexagon or octagon like that. Then you add your turn to it. And what will you do? Since we are creating a triangle, you increase it to what? To 120. It's just 3 sides angle. That is why this turn is as big as 120 turns that you want to make at a time. Then you now add the last word weight here, which is weight 0.3 seconds. Do you understand? And after that, what's the next thing? All you need to do is just come to your when flag is clicked and click on it. Can you see? What do we have here? We have 3 sides angle. 3 sides angle. I can basically increase the pen size so that you can see it boldly to 6. And say it again. Can you see how thick it is? The pen size will increase the thickness of the angle, and that is just a triangle. We use repeat. Like I told you, repeat serves as what? Repeat serves as the number of size of the shapes. While the moves, it serves as number of what? It serves as the increment or decrease in the shapes. Look at it. Let me change it to 50 so that you see what I'm talking about. Can you see how small it is? But if I change it back to what? to 200. Look at what is going to happen to it. Can you see how big it is like that? But I want something minimal so that it will be bold and legible. So something that everyone can see like that. And then let me reduce the pen size. Let me reduce it to 3 back again so that you can see. Good. And that is what this is called, a triangle. And now we are moving to four side shapes. And what's the next thing I'm going to do? I'm going to increase the repeat to 4. Then after that, you can still leave the move by 100, because by the time the shape is increasing, by the time we increase from 3 side shapes to 4 side shapes, definitely it's going to be increasing by itself. Then you change the turn, that is the number of turn, you reduce it by 30, then you put 90 here. By the time you put 90 and you press this, look at what is going to happen. And this is a square. A square. What do I call it? A square. That is 4 sided shape, 4 side shapes. Do you understand? This is a square. Are you getting me? Like I told you, repeat is the number of sides. So if I go to the next one, which is 5, and then I reduce this from the turn from 90 to 72, like that. Look at what is going to happen. This is the 5 side shapes. This is what we call pentagon. Pentagon. Look at where the location of the angle. And now am I going to change the location of the angle? That's where one thing I also failed to tell you is I can go to what? Go to X0, Y0. I can put it here. So that by the time I click it, look at what's going to happen. It's going to start at the origin. Can you see? And then basically, let me rearrange it. Let me reorder what I'm trying to do here. Let me put it as the first, like that. And then what am I going to do? I'm going to put this pen down, point in the direction of 0. Reduce it to 0. Now see what is going to happen. Can you see? It moves it back from this side, from downside to upward side. Can you see what is happening like that? I think it's making sense to you. Now we're at 5 side shapes. Let me increase the repeats to 6, that is the size to 6, and then decrease the turns to 60. To 60. 60 is going to give us exactly 6 side shapes, which is what? An hexagon. Like that. Now what is going to happen? Can you see? Aha. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This side what? Shapes. Then I will go to the next one, which is 7 side shapes. This is what? A pentagon. An heptagon rather. Heptagon. And I'm going to use what? 51. 51 is going to give us the exact what? 7 size shapes. If you don't believe, you can basically alter the turns and you will see the effect on it by yourself. So let me click this so that you can get 7 side shapes. Can you see? 7 sides. And let's count. Like I told you, look at it. This is one of the effects. So if I change this to 52, let's see the effect I told you. If you don't do it very well, can you see the displacement here? That is why I will change it back to 51. I intentionally use it so that you can see it, and then reduce these moves to 80. This is how big it is to 80. Then you can basically see what I'm talking about. Can you see what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say to you. That's a 7 size shapes. Then I'll go towards 8 side shapes. It is what? An hexagon. And hexagon, I'll change this to what? Turns to 45. Like that. And press it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is an hexagon. Do you understand? I believe you are very, very understanding, and you are following me as I'm creating these shapes, because I expect you to be doing the same thing also. Repeat 9. That is a nonagon. Nonagon, we reduce this from 80 to 40. 80 to 40. 80 to 40. Then move steps, turn 40 like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a 9 size what? Shape. And the last one finally is what? a decagon, which is 10 side shapes. Then 10, reduce what? The turns to 36. Notice it's big and it might probably fall out of the space, the main stage here right here. So let me reduce the moves also to 60 so that you can clearly see what I'm doing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is a 10 side shape. This is what? A decagon. Can you see? If you follow all these codes, you can basically create any kind of shapes. And if you alter any of these functions, that is the repeats, the moves, and the turns, you can basically create any shapes. Either the one I've showed you in the exercises, in the previous exercises, or the one I'm creating presently. And you can also do so many things at your own pace, at your own leisure, at your own time. And if you have any question, like I said, feel free to ask in the comments section, and all your questions will be attended to. So thanks for watching, guys, and I really love to see you at the next lecture.